a lot of students from our department who have been selected as frontline COVID warriors in testing labs across the state. We salute these students who have done their exemplary work during this trying testing times of COVID and contributed to the society as well. The proudest moment for any faculty is to see their own students being selected to best institutes and industries and see them in the panel like this after a few years so that sitting shoulder to shoulder with us. The and this and also these students are appreciated for their work ethics and practical knowledge during their interviews, and it gives and the their future work in that institute or in a university, and to see that they have competed and got these positions competing with students from premier institutes that have existed for decades. We have several such students with in this interaction with this interaction program, and we have many more who we could not invite today, but we're planning to have this as a regular feature, so allowing these budding students from our university as well as around this area to be able to talk to these students and understand what the facilities are available, what are the opportunities available around the world, and so that where they have moved on to take jobs or even performing research in biology and medical technologies, so that our students also benefit from this kind of interaction. As part of this program, this first edition will feature, as Dr. Harsimran will soon tell you, 8 alumni placed in various fields in our country and abroad. The senior faculty of the department will also be available for any queries from the young biotechnologists in the meeting. And I hope all of you will make use of this opportunity to ask questions and understand how biotechnology is going to be the future of health and biological fields in the near future, and how, as students, you can be part of this revolution. Without further ado, I would once again welcome you all to this breakfast session, at least for people in India, and maybe a dinner session for the ones in US and Canada, and hand over the session to Dr. Harsimran Kaur, who is a senior faculty member of the department, to introduce what are the future in biotechnology, as well as to moderate the panel discussions. Over to you, Harsimran.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. So carrying on, I would like to give an overview about Department of Biotechnology. So the Department of Biotechnology was established in 2011, and under the guidance of our management as well as Dr. C. Rajesh, we have been flourishing, and we are getting so many grants our students are getting placed. So being technology course, it is very important to have high-tech laboratories so that the students are getting hands-on training along with the theoretical knowledge. Our university is having central lab facility which is equipped by high-end instruments like UV visible spectrophotometer, FTR spectrophotometer, TGTA, and particle analyzer. Department is having high-end labs like animal tissue culture lab, genetic engineering lab, plant tissue culture lab, microbiology and fermentation lab in the department itself. Now, the major question is what one can do after attaining biotechnology degree. I will be highlighting few of the opportunities which are available after doing the biotechnology as well as medical lab technology degree. After your completion of your graduation, various opportunities are available for biotechnologists. One can pursue law degree to become bioethicist or a patent attorney, or can enroll for post-graduation, MSc, MTech, or PhD, which will further open opportunities with a better pay scale. After doing undergraduation, one can be a clinical research, forensic scientist, teacher, the medical illustrators, as well as the writers. So, what after doing medical lab technologies, various opportunities are available when you are through with your graduation degree in medical lab technology. Private hospitals, they hire medical technologists, medical technicians. There are the positions in urologist department. Various opportunities are available in the commercial medical labs, pharmaceutical sectors, forensic labs, research labs, and teaching profession. If all of these are not of your interest, then one can start their own lab in any of the place, any location, and start their own business. So these are the glimpse of our success stories. Our alumni who are working in India and in abroad. So these are the students who are pursuing their higher studies in India and abroad with full scholarships. These are the students who are working in pharmacovigilance scientists in multinational companies like Perexil, Ikevia in India as well as in abroad. During this pandemic, our students have contributed to the healthcare by working as a research scientist in a various COVID testing labs in Punjab, Amritsar, Patiala, Mohali. So students, they are also working as a quality control and quality assurance officers as well as a business development officers in various multinational companies in India and abroad. After completing their degrees in medical lab technology as well as in biotechnology, few of the students they have joined teaching profession as well as the healthcare professions. So these alumni they are working in India as well as in abroad, taking teaching as their professional career. So let's get started with the panel. I would request all the alumni to please give their brief introduction one by one. Once they are through with their introduction, we will be starting the question session after the introduction of the students. Please, Jasleen Sani, can you please introduce yourself?
Just want to make sure you all can hear me. Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Jasleen and I'm currently doing my PhD in cell and molecular biology at the University of Arkansas in the United States. I completed my master's in biotechnology in 2016 from Sri Guru Granth Sahib World University. It was an integrated course of 5 years, and once I completed my course, I took the GRE exam and started applying for PhD here in the schools of United States. And I was selected for PhD program in 2 schools. One was University of Arkansas and the second was University of Kansas. And I chose to...
I can't hear her.
She's
Is she audible to everybody? Dr. Harsimran?
Yes, sir, she's audible.
Yeah.
Yes,
she's
she's
audible.
Yes.
Audible.
Yes, sir, she's
Hello?
audible.
Yeah.
So she's audible.
Okay, so should I go ahead?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. So I was selected in 2 schools here in the United States, and I chose University of Arkansas because of my research interest that was matching with the advisor that I selected. And here I am today doing my PhD, and it's my 4th year in the program right now, and I will be graduating in a year or so, hopefully. And if you have any specific questions for me, I would be happy to answer those. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Karshdeep Kaur, please introduce yourself. Dr. Karshdeep, are you there? Fine, we can carry on with Varneet Kaur. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? So I'm so glad to see you all here. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, it's audible.
All right. So as Dr. Harsimran already introduced me, my name is Varneet, and I did my master's degree, and Jasleen Sani was my batchmate. We completed our degree in 2016, and after that, she chose PhD, and I came here in the United States, got married, and I enrolled in Masters of Education program, which was 2-year program, and you can easily complete that program in 2 years. You don't need any extra course in biotechnology. I got all my transcripts evaluated by Wes, and all my credits were used towards my degree. And after completing master's, I had to take like 2 exams, content specialty test to be a biology teacher and educating all students to be a teacher. Those 2 exams, I would say, are not so hard. Like coming from India, you can imagine taking those long exams. So they were not really very hard. So after that, I got selected for an internship program within a year of my degree. After that internship program, I graduated. I accepted a job offer, which was pretty exciting for me. And I know it was very hard, but with time, you get used to your job and it becomes easy. And now I am a New York State certified teacher. I can teach 7 through 12. Currently, I'm teaching 9th grade biology. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Varney. Dr. Karshdeep Kaur, am I audible to you? Are you there? Dr. Karshdeep?
Am I audible?
Yes, you've joined. Yeah, yes, you are audible. Can you please put on your video also?
Sorry,
If
ma'am,
possible.
because I am at my
Okay,
workplace.
okay. No worries. Fine. Can you please introduce yourself, Karshdeep? Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Dr. Karshdeep Kaur, working as a research scientist at Viral Research and Diagnostic Lab in Government Medical College, Patiala. I completed my doctorate degree under the guidance of respected Dr. Rupinder Kaur. During my doctorate, I have worked on association of genetic polymorphisms related to DNA repair in agriculture workers exposed to pesticides. Thereafter, I worked as a guest faculty in the university in the session 2018 to 2019. Later, I joined Gulzar Group of Institute as assistant professor and was promoted to head of the department. Now, presently, I am working as a research scientist in VRDL Lab, GMC Patiala. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself?
Rahul, thank you, Pavan. Rahul Saini, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hey, hello everyone, and nice meeting you virtually. So I'm Rahul, and I did my bachelor's in 2016. And so after my bachelor's, anyways, I was actually admitted in integrated course, BTech Masters integrated course. But after my bachelor's, so I cleared GATE and everything. So I got a chance to go to IIT Roorkee. So I did my masters from IIT Roorkee in bioprocess engineering, where I did all the fermentation stuffs. So after my masters in 2018, then I moved to Ontario, Canada, where and right now currently I am in third year of my PhD at York University, and I'm working on production of biofuel from lignocellulosic biomass. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer you guys.
Thank you, Rahul. I request Bharat Bhushan to introduce yourself, please.
Hello everyone. Can anyone confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible, Bharat.
So hi. Thank you very much for confirming. So first of all, nice connecting with you all, and hope all you are doing well. So my name is Bharat, and I am completed my MTech from Department of Biotechnology in the batch of 2017 with Rahul Sani and Harman Gill, who are also on the call. So after completing my MTech, I got opportunity from the University Placement Cell to be a part of Coca-Cola as a quality control expert. And with the guidance of my faculty of Department of Biotechnology, I also got opportunity to be part of a Parexel. So I opted to be a part of Parexel as a pharmacovigilance scientist. So I started my career with Parexel in 2018 as a case assessment expert. And now I am providing my services as a quality control expert, where I ensure the quality of the regulatory reports and implement um, corrective and preventive actions to ensure the quality of the reports. So thank you.
Thank you, Bharat. I would request Harman Gill to please introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm audible. Thank you.
Yes,
it's very
you are.
nice to see you all back after so many years. It's like I'm all over there. Thank you for inviting me over here and organizing this seminar. I want to introduce myself. My name is Harman. I did BTech Biotechnology from this university back in 2016. Then after graduation, I started my master's in Thapar University, Patiala, and currently I'm pursuing PhD in University of Winnipeg, Canada. I'm doing a project heterologous expression of genes over here. But my whole journey started with from Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University. I did my honors project with Dr. Pushpinder over here, and my whole project that I'm doing here is related to the same project I did back in this university. So I'm very thankful to the department and all the faculties who give me lots of experience to come over here. I'm also working as a second year biochemistry instructor over here, like a part-time job from the university. I got a scholarship as a teaching assistantship. So I'm thankful for all of you for being made me like this. So if you have any question, I'm happy to answer you. Thank you.
Thank you, Harman. So I would request Amandeep Kaur from batch 2016, please, to introduce herself.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Amandeep Kaur and I joined Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University in 2016 and completed my BTech in 2020. So currently I'm working as a pharmaceutical recruiter in SpectraForce Technologies. Its headquarters lies in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it was really a good and a fruitful experience, I would say, with the Department of Biotechnology and with the Department of Training and Placement Cell, that I got placed in SpectraForce, and currently I served the Moderna project there. That was really, a good experience in all these COVID-19 situations. So I really got a very good experience, and I thank to the Department of Biotechnology for giving me such, a big platform where I could serve such big projects. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you, Aman. Our last alumni, Engineer Tanjot Kaur. I request Tanjot. Yeah. Tanjot, your background noise is. Tanjot, your background noise is there. There's a lot of background noise.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Better your. There's a background noise. Your voice is not clear. You're not audible clearly.
Just 1 second, ma'am. Just 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Just while she prepares, I just wanted to interrupt in a minute and tell you guys that SpectraForce has again requested for you guys to, they're trialing another drive soon, the one that Aman is working on. So the students of our department who are passing out next year or who have passed out this year can again register for that, and they will be conducting an interview soon in the campus. So those, so there's another opportunity at SpectraForce that will be opening soon. So I'll encourage most of the people who are graduating to again look for this opportunity. Over to Tanjot. Go ahead.
Yes, hello everyone. Yes. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Tanjot Kaur. I belong to Ludhiana, Punjab. today I feel very honored that the university gave me an opportunity to give an insight to my experience, which might help the future biotechnologists. So I have completed my BTech in biotechnology from Sri Guru Granth Sahib World University in 2020. After that, I started preparing for competitive exams like GATE, TIFR, ICAR, so that I can pursue my future further education like masters in PhD with full scholarship. Presently, I'm pursuing my MS Biological Engineering at the Department of Biotechnology at IIT Madras. Thank you. Feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanjore. It's a proud moment for us as a faculty who has taught all these students and they are excelling in their respective domains. So I congratulate them and wish them good luck in their future life. Our goal today is that whatever your role is in the field of biotechnology, that you will come away with something, a new idea, a fresh perspective, a new strategy that you can apply to be more successful biotechnologist. Against this brief background, I would like to suggest several questions for the panel's consideration. Students can either raise their hand or drop message in the chat box for questions. The questions will be taken one by one. So I request all the students as a participant to please either raise their hand or drop the question in the chat box. I will take it one by one. So the session is open for the question. Okay. Gurjasni, please ask your question, your query, please.
Okay, good morning, ma'am. Good morning to all present here. Myself, Gurjasleen Kaur, and I am pursuing Masters in Biotechnology. I want to ask a question to Jasleen D. May I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yes, sure, please. Continue.
Okay, my question is that what is the best way and any advice you think is to prepare for GRE exam?
Okay, so the best advice that I could give for GRE exam. So as you all know, that GRE has two parts. One is quants, which is the mathematical part, and the other one is verbal part of that. So for the quants, I think the Indians are really good at mathematics, so they crack it very well. But for the verbal part, the issue that we have is there are like a lot of complicated words in the GRE exam in the verbal part, which is an issue. And in fact, I face that issue as well. So the best advice I could give is, like, if you are planning to take your GRE exam, let's say in a year or so, start preparing for verbal part from today itself. Like, you have to cram all those GRE words, you have to know their meaning and what exactly they are, just so that even if you like learn one word per day for GRE verbal part, it's a great strategy to do. And make sure you know the usage of that word as well. It's not just like cramming that particular word, but make sure you know the usage of that word as well. And I don't think so there's any particular advice for quant section. The only thing I can say is, like, it's very basic, very, very basic. So you don't have to like practice much. It's basic mathematics, which you might have done in like 6th or 7th standard. But for the verbal part, make sure you start practicing today itself, even if it's just like one paragraph, one word per day, or anything. It could be anything. There are a lot of apps, freely available apps that are available on your smartphones as well as iPhones. You can just download those apps and start practicing today. That's all I can say. Do you have any other question for me?
Yes, Dee. And my second question is, do you think your theory and practical studies in MTech or project work helped in your getting selected at Uni of Arkansas?
Yes, definitely. So all the theoretical knowledge that I had and all the practical knowledge that I had, I mean, those were the basics that I learned. And that's what is helping me today in my PhD study. So I'm still doing those DNA extractions, I'm still doing those RNA extractions, I'm still using those principles for qPCR, protein extraction, and everything, STS page. So I was under the guidance of Dr. Pushpinder Sharma, and where I did a lot of practicals for my project work, and they are still helping me today. And I'm still in touch with Dr. Pushpinder, and he helps me a lot today as well. And even Dr. Rajesh, he has been my mentor as well. So it has always been a great help for me.
Okay, thank you, Dee.
Okay. I request Navjot Kaur.
Good morning to all. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible, Navjot. Please carry on with your questions.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Navjot Kaur, pursuing MTech from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, and have completed BTech Biotech from Sri Guru Granth Sahib World University. I have a question for Harman, ma'am. May I ask the question?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Yeah, ma'am. Hi. Ma'am, as you also have completed your graduation and post-graduation from the same institutes, then ma'am, how important do you think the projects you did during your bachelor's and master's have helped you in your further studies?
They helped me a lot. They, like as Jasleen said, they are all the same basic principle that we learned from the starting from the Guru Granth Sahib University. I still remember I started learning gel from Dr. Pushpinder lab, and I ran a gel in the opposite direction the day one. It still remember when I ran a gel, like it's still Dr. Pushpinder strike to my mind. Oh, I have to run this way. And from the same, like all the DNA extraction, RNA isolation, these are very important. So you just need to flourish this experiment, but you have these are very important. In which lab you're working over here now for MTech?
Ma'am, in Thapar
Yeah.
Institute. Yeah, ma'am. It's ma'am. It's on the basis basically of the fermentation stuff.
No, in which lab you are? Like you are doing any project or like what you're
In
doing?
Yeah, ma'am. It's on the bioprocess in the bioprocess lab.
Okay, and what you want to do next? Like you want to pursue?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm basically looking for a. Yeah, ma'am. Basically, firstly, I want to pursue. To have a job first, but if it is will possible, or I want to prepare for GRA and getting scholarship, full scholarship, and going for a PhD in the foreign institutes.
Okay, if you want to apply to Canada, you don't even need a GRE. You can apply to the IELTS exam. It's the same exam. You need
Okay,
6 in
ma'am.
each and overall 6.5. So I think IELTS is easier than cracking a GRE. So just the project you did in Bachelor's of Guru Granth Sahib University, and you did it doing over here, maintain a proper cover letter and resume and send to the advisors like you are interested in the topic you want to pursue. Just go through the papers, whatever available in like all on the internet, and find the supervisor directly from there. And like if you want to go in whichever country or whichever lab you want to go, just find a supervisor name from those articles and just email them. Just mention one thing important I want to mention, that I did a mistakes for 6 months. Then after 6 months I got selected. Don't send a random emails like writing from dear sir, dear ma'am. Just mention the proper name of the supervisor and just put their paper, whichever you read in the email. It will be easier to pick you up from there. Then this really think that you are really interested in the lab instead of just writing a same email to like 10 professors.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Any other question, Navjot?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Navjot. Thank you, Harman. I would like Harminder Kaur, BTech third semester student, to please ask the question. Harminder Kaur.
Good
Harminder,
morning,
are you
everyone.
there? Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is
Please
Harminder
continue
Kaur.
with your
I am a
question
student of
session.
BTech. Okay, so ma'am, my question is to Rahul sir, that how you think that we should pursue our studies so that we can crack up competitive exams like CSIR, GATE, like you did?
Okay. Thank you for your question, Harminder. First of all, hi. I hope you're fine. And so for the competitive exams, it's a very tricky question, huh? So treat all the competitive exams is like a driving. So more you will drive, more you will have practice. Same like a competitive exams. More you will practice, so at the end you will be more confident, right? For instance, you will start driving at it's like the empty road. So then you will go to highway, then you will be confident to drive to the market and crowded everywhere, right? So you will be confident, yes, I can do it. It's the same thing with the exams. So the best way to do is like, for the theoretical part, the classes, the presentations are more than enough. Only thing you have to do is like you have to start basically focusing yourself for practicing those questions directly from previous papers that has been came, like from 10 years, maybe 20 years, it's up to you. So like for instance, you can you can give yourself for a weekly, maybe you have to do 10 questions for now. So with this, you will able to increase every week, by every month, by slowly. Once you will increase, so once afterwards, you will have enough practice so that you can be confident. Yes, I can clear the exam. All exams are same. It doesn't matter either GATE or CSIR or ICMR. All exams are same. But just the best way is to practice. That's it. What can I say? And any other question?
No, sir. Thank you for the advice.
The next question is from Harvinder Kaur, BTech Biotechnology 8th semester student. Harvinder, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to all of you. My name is Harvinder Kaur, a student of BTech Biotechnology 8th semester at Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University, Fatehgarh Sahib. My question is for Rahul, sir. Sir, can you please tell us which universities provide full scholarships to PhD students in Canada? And how can we find and apply for these fellowships?
Okay, so basically, all these universities as Canada is like University of Waterloo, York University, McGill University, or Concordia University, McMaster. All of these universities, they all give full scholarship to all their PhD students. Only important thing is that you need to find a professor, basically in which your field of interest is. Like, as like Herman said that you need to be specific towards the topic. Yes, this is one of the most important thing you should do. The best way is like the project you did in your master. It's like your base for your future work. If your master's project is like just for the starting to get a research, if you will able to get hang over this, so later you can just go ahead with searching the specific professor, because for masters you will start reading some papers and everything. From there you can find very easily. So a lot of these corresponding authors are present in the paper. So just go through their email and search their specifics, their specialization, their projects, and then you can go ahead with starting with their the basic email writing and everything. So and then it will be easy for you to go ahead. So at the end, I would like to just say that yes, your topic should be clear which you want to go, and then just go ahead and proceed them, and they will ask you for interviews and then everything. So I hope my answer helped you.
Yes, thank you, sir, for the information.
Thank you.
I request Navdeep Kaur from BSc Biotechnology, please, to ask her question. Navdeep Kaur, are you there?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Navdeep. I'm student of BSc Biotechnology, semester 5th. My question is for Varneet, ma'am. May I ask?
Hi, Navdeep. Sure. Go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Do you think you had any advantage of the studies at SGGSW University that you think it might help you in clearing the exams or the coursework in US?
Of course. All my degree from Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University got transferred here. I did not have to take a single biology class, which is like a great benefit. Besides that, I am actually on a higher pay scale than regular first-year teachers here in the US because of my degree. All the courses that I took, it's pretty advanced. So with the biotechnology master's degree, you can teach like at a college level class. At high school, they would love to have you. You only need master's in education. You don't need a single class of biology. So that was a benefit. And besides that, for exams, there is an exam that's called content specialty test, which is for biology. So I did not have to take like any online classes or anything for that. Even I didn't read a thing for that. I registered for the test like 2 weeks ago. I looked at the structure of exam, number of questions and everything. And one thing I want to add on here, I was non-medical student. I learned biology all throughout my master's degree at Guru Granth Sahib University. And if a non-medical student can crack CST exam, it's much easier if you did take biology classes earlier. It's not hard. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. And one more question, ma'am.
Sure, go ahead.
What advice would you like to give to students like us about career opportunities after completing graduation and undergraduate program?
For graduation program, like Dr. Harsimran Kaur said, like what else is out there? I did not know that I can be a teacher. I started looking for like jobs in different companies and stuff like that. But with my degree, with all your vast evaluated transcripts, you can just find out what courses you want to do, something that aligns with you, something that you can do like for rest of your life. So I only needed like 30 credits to be a teacher. But with a master's degree from Guru Granth Sahib University, I have 200 credits. So you can imagine what I can do with those credits. They teach you a lot more than any regular college, even in United States. So you can do whatever you want. It's not hard.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Gurdarshan Singh. Mr. Gurdarshan Singh, are you there? BSc MLT student.
Yes, ma'am.
Your question, please.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Gurdarshan Singh from second year of BSc MLT. And my question is from Dr. Karshdeep. May I ask question?
Dr. Karsh, are there, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So my question is, what do you think during PhD help you get this job at such a premier government hospital?
Thank you for the question. Self-motivation coupled with guidance of my respected teachers of Department of Biotechnology of Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University. Over the years, I have acquired relevant skills and practical knowledge about the working of the lab, which have made me to achieve the present position in the government hospital.
Any other question, Gurdarshan?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I request Bhavika Sharma to please ask her question. Bhavika, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, dear sir, ma'am, and my fellow friends. Myself, Bhavika. I'm from BSc MLT second year. So I would like to ask a question from Dr. Karshdeep that where are other opportunities at your place for graduates as MLT and biotechnology?
Thank you, Bhavika, for your question. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So far as opportunities are concerned for graduate, with the excellence in your practical experience, you can serve as lab assistant or lab technician in a department. And however, for the postgraduate, you can opt for research assistant in the field of medical lab technician or in the field of medical biotechnology. With the excellence in your practical, you can serve in either of these positions. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I request Navgeet Kaur, BTech 8th semester, please to continue with the question session.
Good morning, everyone. My question is to Harneet, ma'am.
Yes, sure. Navgeet, right? This is how you pronounce your name?
Yes. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Navgeet. Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, my question is that by completing your MTech in India, did you have to give any other exams for pursuing further jobs or studies in US, like any certification course or anything else?
Yes. So to get into a college, like Justine already said, and I think Herman said, GRE and one English proficiency test that you need to get into a college. And then afterwards, you do your master's in education, which is required to be a teacher here. And then once you are done with your master's, you need like 2 tests. The first one is content test. They want to test you how good you are in teaching biology. And as I said, it's not very hard test. It's very easy. You guys can easily crack that test. And the second one is EAS, which is educating all students. So once you are done with your test, you update there is a profile, a teacher profile that they make for you. And once you are done with your tests, you pass those tests and it's automatically on your system. And the state send you a certification that you are New York State or whatever state you want to go, that you are a certified teacher. And with that certification, you can teach, you can apply for jobs. And then it's another different process, applying for jobs, interviews, and all that stuff. But basically, you only need master's degree, 2 exams, and certification. That's it.
Ma'am, is there any validity of these programs, or it's for lifetime?
For which program you're asking? My master's degree in education or certification?
Ma'am, certification.
Yes. So like with my certification, first I started teaching at a charter school. And then now I am in like public school system. So once you are certified and then you get, your certification is for 3 years. Then you get professional certification that stays there. You just need to update, like you have a driver's license. You need to like renew it after a couple of years. That's the only thing you need to do, and it's for lifetime. So once you are in a public school, I am enrolled in a retirement system too. Once I work for a couple of years, you get a retirement pension and all those things, all the benefits. And your certification stays there wherever you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So any of the students who have joined from school or other college or university, the session for the question is open for them as well. So they can raise their hand or drop the message in the chat box. There are a few students who have joined from various schools in and around Fatehgarh side. So I request them to please, if they are having any questions or queries, they can raise their hand or drop the chat box message in the chat box. So Jerome Phillips, the next student is Jerome. Can you please ask the question, Jerome?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I hope I am audible.
Yes, Jerome, you're audible.
Okay, first of all, a very good day or night to all the honorable faculty members, alumni, and all the curious participants present here in this meeting. My name is Jerome Philip. I am currently an undergraduate going to enter in the 3rd year in BSc Biotechnology. My question is for Miss Amandeep. May I?
Yes, Jerome.
Ma'am, what prior experience and personal qualities, skills, and education are vital for placement in your company and other biotech companies?
Yeah, so Jerome, like talking about the prior experience, you really need to be on the tips, what's going all around the pharma companies, not in only in India, but across the globe. Because right now, if I talk about this COVID-19 situation, I mean, it has given such a benefit to, to especially to some us biotechnologists in the industry sector. Because right now they are in, need of the people who are even just the undergraduate students who just have some of the practical skills, and they are hiring up with such a good pay scale. So I would say you really need to polish up the skills in your education itself. The opportunities are right now are vast, talking about the Pfizer, the Abbott, AbbVie, and even the Moderna project, where I work. So we have helped in hiring of such undergraduates who just have the experience that we do in our laboratory work. And talking about the personal skills, you need to be confident, and then hard work is something that is a key to success to polish up your professional life. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ria Tibber, are you there, Ria? What's your question, please?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Ria. I am a student of BTech Biotechnology 8th semester. My question is for Tanjot ma'am. Are you there?
Yes, Riya, sure.
Ever since I've known you, I know how much passionate you are for your research and PhD. So my question is, what motivated you to clear so many entrance exams after your BTech, and how did you manage to prepare for these exams?
Okay, so firstly, I would like to say that the first and the foremost thing that is required for clearing any exam is the guidance of the teachers. I had got the best guidance from all the teachers, especially Pushpinder sir, Harsimran ma'am, C. Rajesh, our HOD sir. So, and then the second thing that is important is persistence. You need to be persistent with what you want to do, and you need to analyze the syllabus, because the syllabus analysis is very important, because there are many exams whose syllabus overlaps. There are certain units present in each and every exam which are common. So you need to screen them. You need to match your strong points with the paper requirements, and that is must. So I prepared for exams through self-study. I think in BTech I had polished my basics. I came to know the advanced knowledge that is required. So that has helped me to clear so many exams in one go.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, Manpreet Kaur, BTech Biotechnology 8th semester, are you there? Manpreet Kaur?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, all of you.
Yeah, please, it's your question.
Firstly, I introduce myself. I am Manpreet Kaur, and I am pursuing my BTech Biotechnology 8th semester at Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University. I want to ask one question to Tanjot ma'am. Can I?
Yes, sure.
So, so how did you find details of all these exams? And
Yeah.
are there any sites that are available for that information?
So you need to explore the sites. It's not available like you will get all the exams in one go, like in one site. That is not possible. You need to explore more and more. There are certain exams which are more common, like CSIR, GATE, TIFR, ICAR, ICMR. But there are certain exams like JNU conducts its own entrance exams, and there are many universities which conduct their own entrance exams. So I think exploring the digital platforms that are available like YouTube and Google will suffice this, and you need to be a little exploring person to find all the details. So I can share some of them with you.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question can be asked from Manpreet. Before that, there is a query from a school student named Taran. Taran, she has just completed BSc, 10+2, and she want to know about BSc MLT courses. So, Taran, are you there? Can you please ask your question? We can take your question, please. Taran?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yes, Taran,
Ma'am,
please. We can
actually,
take your question.
I have doubt that what should I do after 12th, BLT, MLT or BSc nursing?
Okay, so I will take your question, Taran. So, or right. So the thing is that Taran, the both courses they involve hospital duties, right? So when you are doing BSc nursing and it involves the taking care of patients, and your whole dedication is towards the patient care, right? So the MLT course, it is basically the testing of the samples, right? So it is a setup where you can get your own lab established after doing BSc MLT. So you are not like bound to work in a hospital over there. Even and then the case in both is that the night duties and the shuffling will be there.
Ma'am,
Right.
what about
So scope.
If I can
For
interrupt, ma'am.
BSc.
If I can interrupt.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Taran, the thing is, it depends on your interest. That would I would say. One, if you're interested in technical things, doing technical, in working in labs, doing technical stuff and things like that, then MLT would be your choice. If you're
Okay,
more
sir.
interested in just giving care to the patients and working there, job-wise, both of them have got opportunities. And as Dr. Harsimran said, with MLT, you probably can set up your own lab at some after your BScs. Or you can work on independently, like Dr. Harsimran said. In nursing, probably you won't be able to do that. You have to join some place for nursing. That's the only difference. Otherwise, both have got similar job prospects, but depends on your interest on whether you like doing work in the lab. If you do like working in the lab, then I would say MLT would be your thing, because you got instruments, you got the tests that you need to do, and those things are available. So that will be your choice. Your interest would be the best thing to decide. Rest you
Okay,
can
sir.
maybe contact us independently as well. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Taran. Okay, so the next question can be asked from Manpreet Kaur, BSc Biotechnology 5th semester student, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manpreet Kaur. I'm student of BSc final year. My question is for Miss Amandeep. May I ask,
Yeah, Manpreet.
how did you get a job in this company? Did you also pursue other options for job?
Yes, so I got job in Spectroforce Technology through campus placement. That was held in 2020, and I got placed from the campus placement with the help of Department of Training and Placement Cell. So I joined in March 2020, and that was my, in the last semester I got the job. And also I'm exploring other career options as well. And for, if I give any one suggestion, so do, go with some online internships and training, because right now the clinical research is quite trending, in biotechnology because of this COVID-19 trials that are happening. So I would suggest, who want to come up with some biotech industry, do some like clinical research fast track programs out there for India, and even their help in the US. So you can go over there, and then drug safety internship, it's something preferred. So yeah, these are some suggestions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Jasmine, MSc Biotechnology student. Jasmine.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jasmine Kaur, MSc Biotech graduate from Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University, And my question is for Bharat sir. May I, ma'am?
Yes, please.
So you have completed your master's from this university. So my question is that how did you get your first job in this field after MTech? Please share your experience with us, sir.
Okay. First of all, thank you for the question. Yeah, as I study the various core subjects like clinical trials, database management, drug designing, and ethical and legal aspects of biotechnology and pharmacoepidemiology. So, in my master's, which gave me a strong hold in the basics and ignited my interest which in regulatory affairs. So, firstly, I would say it made me a competent and qualified enough for the job application eligibility. Secondly, passively, but the connections I made through my colleagues and teaching staff during my studies were invaluable in starting my career. Hope I answered your question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Jashan, are you there? Jashan, you can ask the question.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, good morning, everyone. My name is Jashan. I am graduated MSc Biotechnology, and my question is for Bharat Bhushan, sir. May I ask my question? Okay, so Bharat sir,
Jashan, you
what
need to
kind
be
of work
little
is done at
loud.
Praxna?
Little loud. Your voice is not audible.
Hello?
It's not clear. Yes.
Is it okay now, ma'am?
Yeah. Try to be little loud.
So, okay. So, what kind of work is done at Praxel, sir?
Dishan, you are not audible.
He's saying what kind of work is there in Parexel?
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, at Parexel is basically a biopharmaceutical provides the global pharmaceutical services. So basically, it provides contract research, consulting, medical communications, and technical solutions. The company provides services to worldwide for pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and medical device industries. I hope it's clear.
I hope, Jashan, it's clear. Your question is
Yeah,
answerable
yeah.
now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Ramandeep Kaur, can you please ask your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ramandeep Kaur, and I have completed my BSc Biotechnology from Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University in 2020. Now, I'm a student of MSc Biotechnology in this university. So, my question is from Jasleen Sani. May I ask?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Hello, Jasleen ma'am.
Hello, Raman.
So, my question is, what should I do once I get my GRE score?
Okay, so are you planning to apply for PhD or master's in the United States?
Yes, I'm thinking now. After completing my MSc Biotechnology.
Okay, so once you get your GRE score, you can start applying to various universities here in the United States. I mean, you can even directly apply to the schools, or you can even write emails to the professor. So there are like two options. Some of the universities, they directly admit students through their graduate school, and some universities like the school that I am in, they don't admit it directly through the graduate school. We have to email to the we have to write emails to the professor, and then if they have funding, they are going to select us, and they are going to let the graduate school know that they are accepting this particular student. So that depends, like you have to find it out which universities accept students directly and which for which you need to email professors. But the very first thing I think you can start doing is just start emailing the professors once you have your GRE scores. So you can either choose it based on your GRE score. Let's say you get a GRE score of 310. So then you can search it on Google and find out like which universities have an acceptance rate with the GRE score of 310. Now, there will be some universities that do say that they accept students with a GRE score of 310. but that doesn't mean that if you have a score of less than 310, you can't get accepted to that university. So it depends. Like for me, when I got my GRE score, I think it was like 307 or so. So what I did was I even applied to schools that accepted students with GRE score of 320 and above, and I even applied to schools that accepted students below GRE score of 310 as well. So I'm just to be on the safe side, I applied to both kind of schools. So now that's what you can do, like based on your GRE score. Once you get your GRE score, you can start looking for schools that accept that particular score that you get. And if you have any particular specific question, I mean, later on, once you get your GRE score and how to write the emails to the professor, you can have my contact number and I can be in touch with you, like whenever you are planning to do that. It's fine with me. You can get it from even Dr. Pushpinder, Dr. Harsimran, or Dr. Rajesh, or I can give you here right now as well.
That's good.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Simarjeet, BTech Biotechnology.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please, your question.
Good morning, everyone. I am Simarjeet from BTech Biotechnology 8th semester. So my question is for Varneet, ma'am. May I ask?
Sure, Simarjeet. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. My question is, are there any special examination requirements for being a certified school teacher in US?
Yes, there are. So after you complete your master's degree, you need two exams. The first one is Content Specialty Test, which is CST, which is all biology. They ask you like basic biology questions. It's 2-hour long test. You can take it like very easily. If you are like, I'm not saying you're good in biology, but you can easily crack that test. That's not hard. Second one is Educating All Students, which is EAS, which is all about like if you have like a classroom situation, you have a kid and then you are teaching something, they give you like a scenario. It's a multiple choice, and you pick options. How would you teach that kid? Like if it has a problem with something, I know I'm getting very specific here, but the test is all about how do you teach kids. Those two tests you can take like in 2 months, I would say. Not very hard. That's it. You can apply for certification, and then you get your certificate, you apply for jobs.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Okay, so I just want to add one thing here. Like whenever we come here for a master's or PhD degree, we come here on F1 visa status. So if you are here on an F1 visa status, you cannot teach in a high school. So I just want to add that, like Varneet is a permanent resident of the United States. So that's why she was able to take all those exams and is a teacher in the high school. Like I am on an F1 visa. I am not able to teach, like being a STEM student, I cannot teach in a high school here. I have to either join a company or be in a university. Otherwise I cannot stay here in the United States in that case. I just wanted to make that clear.
Jocelyn, I just want to add here, yeah, that is irrelevant. So to stay here, you need like permanent residence or something like that, but no one asks for your like status. Like if you are not PR here, if you are a teacher or you get a job, no one asks. They never asked for my, what you call it, my PR card or anything. I was PR here. So they don't ask it. So the only thing you need is you need something to stay here. You need to find out a way to stay here. You can get PR later. Once you are here, you can pursue your education, you can pursue your career, and yeah, eventually you're gonna need PR. Definitely, that's right. But you can start your education and your degree. Yeah.
I was actually talking about the OPT status. So once we have F1 visa here, once we complete a degree, so like let's say I'm an F1 student here, and once my F1 status I complete my degree, I mean it can be master's or a PhD, then I transit to OPT status. So that's what it's called here. It's, I think, occupational practical training or something. So it transits to OPT visa status. And being a STEM student here in the United States, and if I was on an F1 status prior to that, I cannot join a high school, because that has happened with a student here who joined the high school and then he got a notice that he couldn't stay here in the United States because he was a PhD student.
Oh.
I mean, that's something I myself didn't know either. So I just wanted to make sure like others know this thing, because I came to know it recently. I didn't know that either. So being
That's
a STEM
really relevant. Yeah.
Once I complete my master's or PhD, I have to join either a university or a company or some other higher institution rather than.
It just means that you have to be. It just means probably that you have to choose. I mean, you just cannot switch around. You should know what you're going to do and then travel. That's all. On an F1, you can't do other part. A1, you cannot. So the visa matters. So that's, you have to choose what you need to do, then see what you cannot do. You have to be careful about. Thank you, Jasleen. Thank you for making it.
Thank you, Jasleen. Thank you, Bernie. So next question is from Sanjam Kaur, please. Sanjam? Sanjam, are you there? Actually, she's from Jammu. There might be some connectivity issues. So I call upon Gurleen Singh to ask the question, please. Mr. Gurleen Singh, are you there?
She can type it in the chat box. Ask her to chat.
Okay. Gurleen, you can, in the meanwhile, you can ask the question, please.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. I'm Gurleen Singh. And my question to Harman: how did you learn about this fellowship opportunity and were able to apply for it?
Hi, Gurleen. Thanks for the question. Actually, as I already mentioned, I am reading the paper while writing a thesis. So I found the name of the professor over here. All the universities during a graduate studies gives you a scholarship. So you don't have to initially worry about the scholarship. There is a compulsion through the government, like a FGS called Faculty of Graduate Studies, provides scholarship to each student who got recruited as a PhD student and TA. So firstly, the first thing is you need to apply for a supervisor. Once the supervisor gives you a consent letter that I have a scholarship, I have a funding, then I am able to take this student, then take that letter along with other documents and apply to the department. Then department agrees to take you as a student. So you don't have to find to the supervisor who has funding, just find a supervisor first. All the supervisors have the fundings over here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other question you want to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Gurleen. Anmol, are you there? Anmol Preet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please, it's your question.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anmol Preet. I'm studying BTech in Biotechnology, 8th semester. I would like to ask the question from Bharat sir. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
So, what are the typical backgrounds of successful applicant in your company, and would you like to suggest any additional courses or training that will help us to get these jobs?
Okay. Typically, the eligibility and the most of the selective individuals at my workplace have a background in life sciences, preferably masters. So most of them hold a master's in biotechnology or a bachelor's in dentistry or MBBS. And personally, I would not recommend any additional other than your regular courses in the university. So as the curriculum is very effective in developing the skill set requiring, along with that, it builds up a strong base. So anything specific to job is availed in the corporate training, and I would personally stay away from out of door corporate training since they are not preferred at work. So certainly would not pay for those additional trainings. So 2 cents, get your basics straight throughout your courses and get a good command over the language. So these two are very important. I hope I answered your query.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bharat, I have a little query over here. So you're
Yes, ma'am.
saying that the masters in life sciences, like, so
Yes,
the
ma'am.
masters is like you are MTech in biotechnology. The students might be with the MSc biotechnology. Are there students who have done BTech in a biotechnology? They are considered as a masters or equivalent to MSc, and they can apply for the per excel positions. Like,
Ma'am, they prefer only masters.
yeah, but BTech is equivalent to MSc. So like.
Yes. I think, ma'am, a few students from our university already applied, Milan and some of the other students, but they don't get selected due to the bachelor degree. So as they got so many masters graduate, the people who have done master, so they don't prefer BTech students or bachelor degree students.
That means there is a competition with respect to the masters.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
They prefer MSc students or MTech students.
Yes, sir.
But eligibility is there. But preference is they prefer
Yes, ma'am.
opting that, but they are eligible for this.
Yes, ma'am. They prefer MTech students or master students, but yes, they can apply.
They are eligible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Bharat. There is a question.
Thank you.
There's a question from Khushdeep Kaur. She's an outside student. She's from Jammu. She has done a diploma in MLT. So you can ask the question, Khushdeep Kaur. Hello, Khushdeep Kaur. Okay, so I will repeat the question what she has asked. She says that my name is Khushdeep Kaur. I am from Jammu. I have done diploma in MLT. Further thinking to do BSc MLT, but I have a commerce background plus in +2. Does it affect my future career if I want to apply in any hospital? So, Rajesh sir, can you please answer this question, or Dr. Pushpinder? Rajesh sir, can you please answer this question?
Yeah. What was her name? Sorry.
Khushdeep Kaur.
Okay, Khushdeep. So there are your final degree is what matters. Your diploma is what will matter, and what you did in your BSc is what matters. With commerce background, as long as you get your things straight in your BSc, you're fine with whatever. They don't ask you what you did in 10th or 12th or anything. So with an MLT degree in BSc or your diploma, you can get what you're eligible for. So I don't think there's any disadvantage in having as long as you learn the basics of BSc MLT right now. So what you did in +2, it will not matter because you did a diploma. You got the diploma degree. If there's anything else, also you can email us directly or call the number and check later on. But to answer your question, no, I don't think there's any disadvantage for you to continue BSc MLT.
There is another question
Hello?
from Rabjot Kaur. Hello. Okay. Yes, sir. Hello. There is a student, Rabjot Kaur. She's also, yeah.
Sorry. I just thought I was in
Kaur. She's completed 12th and she has taken admission in BSc MLT first year in our university and department. So she want to know that is there any specialization in BSc or MSc MLT?
So, Dr. Harsimran, good morning all. Hello everyone. Sir, I'm just talking to her, please. Yeah. So,
sure.
Basically, Rabjot has already, she has already interacted with me during when she came to university. Actually, I told her. And sir might have, Dr. Rajesh has explained everything during the interaction actually. Yeah, Rabjot actually, the kind of subject we are teaching during the BSc and MSc actually. They included all those specialized subjects, which basically include your, what queries you are having actually. The more specialization we told you at that time when you visited university actually that we have, PhD actually, so where you can really explore the, more in a more way actually that what you want exactly. In during graduation and post graduation, actually, we have a specialized subject where you would learn theoretical kind of this knowledge, and practically we have very good we have a very good setup of practicals where that include diagnostic testing labs. For example, biochemistry tests we are doing diagnostic test, okay, and we are doing microbiological test. So that would definitely add up to your whatever you want actually. Any other question if she has?
Prabjot,
Yeah.
Prabjot, just if I can interrupt a minute, Prabjot, also you have a 6-month internship during after your coursework, where if you want a specialization in a field, maybe let's say biochemistry or microbiology, pathology, radiology, so you want to work in that, you can choose your internship based on that. So that will be your specialization. The 6 months in the end of your master's or your bachelor's, you have a 6-month training program in any hospital, and you can choose that internship based on what you want to do later. So that specialization you can decide after 3 years. So by 3 years, you will know the different fields. Then you can choose which one you like most and join that internship program.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the next question is from Harshmeet Kaur, BSc MLT, third semester student. Please, Harshmeet, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I am Harshmeet Kaur from BSc Biotechnology second year, and my question is to Harmandi.
Yes, hi, Harshmeet.
Hi, Dee. Actually, my question is, do we have to clear any specific exam if we want to pursue our masters in Canada?
Oh, she said
No, you just have to clear the English language test.
Okay.
And if you have any poster publication or your thesis is must, you should have any written thesis or any summer training proposal. That's all. You don't need any exam for that.
Okay, Dee. Thank
Any
you.
other question?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Pavandeep Kaur from BSc MLT, fifth semester. Are you there? Pavandeep.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta. Your question, please. Do you have
I
any
think
question, Pavan?
Sanjam had joined. I think, Dr. Sir, you can ask her if she had a question in the meantime.
Okay. Sanjam, are you there? Sanjam? I don't think so, Dr.
No,
Pushpinder, because
she has joined actually. I just
okay.
checked. She has logged in, I think, yeah. Maybe I think she's not.
No, she's not
Poor
there.
connection, exactly.
Fine. So I think so. That's all with the question session. Anybody else having question, please, they can raise their hand or drop the message in the chat box right now. Okay. I think that everybody has settled their queries with the questions. So I would request Dr. Pushpinder.
Ria was logged in, I think. Ria was logged in. She raised question. I don't know. She raised hand so many times. Is she
Ria has
answered?
asked the questions. Yeah, Ria has already. Yeah, she has
Maybe
gone
I
through
missed
the
it.
session.
I missed it actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Pushpinder sir wants to interact with our alumni, so I welcome
Yeah.
him on this
Yeah.
panel
So
discussion, please.
I was not supposed to speak, but your achievement, basically the alumni achievement, definitely, I'm just want to talk to you guys. Your achievement pushed me to just advertise my department in a way that actually, everyone whosoever visit our university, I really feel proud to discuss, with those people and talk about, basically how our students have basically, cracked so many exams. They have been settled abroad actually. Jaslin, Varnit, Harman, Rahul, Navjot, Amandeep, whatever, whosoever have, this, they're attending this meeting. We feel really grateful to you guys. You have made us proud actually, and most of the time, whenever I really speak from my heart. Somebody visit our university and that give me boost up actually, that I can talk about my department. So really I'm grateful to you guys, and you people, most of the time whenever we are having any kind of call to you guys, even in LinkedIn, You people interact very nicely, and this is our achievement actually, which make us basically a unique department in the university. So definitely, this particular the interaction, this will be a great interaction, and it will definitely uh, give us a more kind of opportunity to discuss to people, just to share this meeting with all people around actually. uh, Jasleen, Varnit, Bharat, Rahul, Harman, Amandeep, Karshdeep. So yeah, so I just want to interact with you guys. Thank you so much, for basically on a call, you are always there for us. I'm really proud of you guys, and definitely this interaction, this relationship will go on as such. Wherever you require us and wherever we require you guys, this interaction should go on as such. Thank you so much. And obviously, Dr. Harsimran will take thanks to you guys. But I couldn't stop myself to talk to you guys to have an interaction with you. That thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pushpinder. We are
Yeah.
indeed proud of each and every student of our department who are making us proud, shining globally, and we are really happy that they are happy in their fields, and they were happy to choose biotechnology and Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University as their institute for studies, right? So with proud, I can say that Shri Guru Granth Sahib World University is the first of its kind that is preparing young learners to be a global professionals by focusing on emerging technologies. Biotechnology is a highly interdisciplinary field useful in making advancements in the field of healthcare, medicine, agriculture, food, pharmaceutical, and environmental control. So we are getting close to the end of our time together. I hope that each of you has gathered interesting information about the future endeavors in the field of biotechnology from this session of interaction with the alumni. Thanks to all the alumni who helped to make the meeting successful. Thanks to all the participants for attending the meeting. We really do appreciate your interest in this very important issue. Thank you again. Thank you all for coming and joining and asking the question in this interaction. Thank you all. Stay safe.
Thank you.